Hi there and welcome back to Japan. Sorry, I didn't come out. Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be checking out a band who I've never heard before, and we've had a few requests for them in our Reddit suggestion thread. As always, if you want to suggest songs to me, you can do it anywhere, but if you suggest it on the Reddit, then I'll definitely get to it. Somewhere else I might miss it. So follow the links from the description below. Such a YouTubey thing to say. But anyway, this is a band called Charisma.com with the song Hate. Now, Charisma.com is one of those names where just the minute you hear it, it's probably, it's probably got a tongue-in-cheek value that makes it kind of fun. But the minute you hear Charisma.com, you think that's the sort of name you've got to live up to a lot. I mean, calling your band Charisma would be a lot to live up, but then putting .com on the back of it like it's some kind of like cheeky tongue-in-cheek sentiment, you're going to have to come with a lot of attitude as well. So usually we're just talking about the music, but I'm going to be really interested to see what the attitude behind this is as well. I mean, the very first frame that comes up, just as I got the video queued, is I'm assuming the two members, maybe a female duet, two women standing there, sitting there, one looking kind of neutral, the other one looking like she's got proper attitude. So I have no idea where this is going to go. As always, no idea what type of music is. Really look forward to these Reddit suggestion ones because, it's always going to be a surprise. Anyway, as always, because I don't know, what I'll do is I'll get into it, have a listen to a song, and then we'll talk about this more afterwards, and we can discuss what we all think. Me first. All right, here we go. It's Charisma.com with the song Hate. Let's check it out. There's a weird passive-aggressive vibe already. Ooh, I like that. Funky beat. Nice little sounds.
Just like watch out enemy 勝てる気しないやめるしかないの fool Are you? Just like making them enemy 負ける気しないやめる気ない You are cool But fool Just like watch out enemy 勝てる気しないやめるしかないの cool Are you?
I love that little synth
Just like making them enemy 負ける気しないやめる気ない You are cool But foolがめつくストロングカッコつけて見せてお国がライターリア見たくちょっとだけ
Flipping up the vocals, nice. Good strong chord to start the rhythm off. Now I want them to build on this. Give us a good hook or something.
可愛いって言っちゃう主義それがブームのルール似たものばかりビューティフルブルー目覚めよ人間恐れは万全あっち向いてほいでめくらませ急にエンジン吹かすと黄緑色した血がみなぎる You are あっちゃこっちゃ綱引く回数 1,2,3 The next touch Just like watch out enemy 勝てる気しないやめるしかないの fool
Ah, nice. Delayed chord changes.
Just like making them enemy 負ける気しないやめる気ない You are cool But fool Just like watch out enemy 勝てる気しないやめるしかないの cool Are you? Just like making them enemy 負ける気しないやめる気ない You are cool But fool雰囲気は重視トリッキーなインスタントクイーンフリーキーなフリーで打ち込むクイーン同じリズムでアップダウンうなずくあんたら派手なだけさ嫌なことあったらお腹ピーピーピーわざわざ無理してなくフィーリングそれは大層雅なことでございます What you used to be Hey yo what's up baby how you know スタイルだけさあ切ないけ本当はもっとえげつないぜ Know me Hey yo what's up baby how you know スタイルだけ
Credit to the visual stuff is kind of coolly done
慣れないから頑張りなJust like watch out enemy 勝てる気しないやめるしかないの fool
I like these little changes that they're sort of sandbagging on and then just bringing in.
Just like making them enemy 負ける気しないやめる気ない You are cool But fool Just like watch out enemy 勝てる気しないやめるしかないの cool Are you? Just like making them enemy 負ける気しないやめる気ない You are cool But fool
Oh, that's a bit of a dark way to finish, isn't it? Oh, man. We've been watching some videos on this channel recently with some pretty dark undertones. 2 seconds, nothing happens. Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot to unpack on that one. That was not what I expected. I think that's one of the very... I'm kind of happy because that's one of the first times we've had like a proper Japanese... I would describe that as near enough a hip-hop artist, or at least a hip-hop song, on this channel, because we don't get so much of that. I don't think there's so much Japanese hip-hop really in the sort of wider knowledge, so it's nice to hear something like that. I mean, first of all, starting off with the music, it did a really good job. Sometimes I complain about minimalist music. The reason being is that often minimalism is this excuse to sort of do something which is so common denominator that it doesn't offend anyone. And I'm thinking a lot of the sort of trends which are happening a lot in Western music, certainly of the last 5 to maybe even 10 years. There is this favoritism towards sort of like having like just like a bass line, a drum beat over the top, and then just a couple of little effects and things coming in just to add some color. And that can be quite boring. This is minimalism in more of the good way. And that there's not much, but everything is everything really stamps itself very much on the sound. Admittedly, don't get me wrong, a subtlety can work, but everything here is very front and center. It certainly reminds me a lot of the sort of hip hop production that was very prominent in the early 2000s, certainly the first few years of the 2000s, in that it's very much about sort of stark, direct sounds, and you really sort of hearing the harmonies and the play between the sounds that you wanted to hear, and very sort of synthetic sounds as well. So the beat, nice and solid, nothing overly funky going on there, which gives more room for the vocals to sort of add colour to the rhythm. So when you've got a very simple drum beat, it's not that you can't do rap to a more complicated drum beat, that can often work really well as well, but when you've got a simple drum beat, it gives the vocalist more opportunity to interpret the rhythm in more different ways, sort of add little subtle notes and different, not so much notes, different rhythms, different steps to the beat inside of what's already being played. Then you had like a simple bass line, good catchy bass line. Initially it was just the bass line wasn't doing anything, but so as we came on towards the first chorus, then suddenly it started moving up, and where it was just sort of all in one, as often can be the case with hip hop, it was all in one key. It wasn't really changing chord at any point. It was just like a mixture of riffs. Then suddenly when the bass line starts moving in a boom, 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 like a chord pattern, like in a sort of normal rock and roll song or something, then it suddenly adds this whole extra element to what's going on at the bottom of the song, which was really interesting. And I think I've mentioned that earlier, that sort of delayed change. There are some, not many, but there are some songs that have famously used this really well, where the song just seems like it's all going to be in one key, and your ears get used to that, and you kind of think, okay, this is the rhythm. You're kind of getting into the groove of things, and then suddenly just it throws in chord changes, which are such a fundamental thing, but they've managed to get you feeling comfortable with there being no chord changes, that when suddenly a chord change comes in, it's like, oh wow, it suddenly adds a whole level to the song. So yeah, that really worked well. And then I really liked, very simple, that synth thing happening over the top. It added a slightly off-kilter, slightly, it made a slightly cheeky sort of tone to everything, as it was kind of slightly discordant to the rest of the rhythm that had sort of comfortably been sitting underneath it. And that was the cool thing about this, is that this song was all kind of about setting a very comfortable rhythm, a very comfortable pace, and then just adding little things that made it sound a little bit on edge. It was those little things like, adding those chord changes like halfway through the song, the weird final chorus where the effects kind of go a little bit strange, and you get like some extra things coming in which are, slightly different from everything that had been before, that little synth that's just slightly discordant to the rest of the arrangement. Those things, like I said, very simple tactics to make this work. It also didn't outstay its welcome at 3 minutes, which is great. I really like that. I thought that was a good decision to keep it nice and tight. I always think it's good with these sorts of songs. People often think it's a good idea to, really sort of drag them out and get as much out of them as you can. But I think sometimes a short, tight package of a song that you can just sort of re-listen to whenever you want to is not such a bad thing. I think that can be often a better thing to have a song as a tight package. So I just really like the fact they chose to do this on a short length. They didn't let the beat or the rhythm outstay its welcome. It was all about just sort of keeping it going until it needed something to spice it up, and then throwing that in. Now, when it comes to the vocals are, actually I really like the rap stuff in it. The hip hop was good. Obviously I couldn't, I always say this, I couldn't pull apart the lyrics, just from listening to it. Could hear little sentences and phrases here and there, but not enough. I'd have to sit down and translate it afterwards, as usual. But, the actual flow of it was really good. I like the fact that she kept the flow changing. We're not talking about sort of the most advanced technical stuff ever, but in a world where, mumble rap is still a thing, for someone to actually be putting, proper rhythm scheme into how they're delivering their lyrics is fantastic. I really hope that the lyrics make sense and work on just as much of a level, because, sometimes people sacrifice the meaning of the lyrics so as just to get the right sort of onomatopoeia and the right sort of sound into the rhythm of the song. But certainly the way that she was flying it was really nice. I liked it. It kind of had a slightly nonchalant quality to it. The chorus was the interesting thing, though, because the chorus was just kind of like a chant, which I know, that can come up in hip hop sometimes. It's not unheard of. It works, and it even reminds you of some of those slightly nonchalant sounding pop songs from kind of like the 80s, which were, there was a lot of those sort of spoken pop songs, which was supposed to sound classy and cool. I don't know if there's actually a name for that genre, but it kind of had that slight feel when it came around to the hook, came around to the chorus. And, I don't really think the hook did much for me. It was definitely catchy, that sort of thing that was going on at the last line of each run of the hook. So it certainly had that quality, but I don't know if it necessarily was something where I went, oh wow, that's really like super engaging or memorable. Maybe like some sort of sung hook would have worked, but that might have gone against the feel of the song. So it's kind of hard to know where they could have gone with that, or maybe just no hook at all. So, maybe given the options, they did take the best one there, but I must admit, it doesn't leave you with a particularly memorably catchy hook left behind, but still, how much can we really complain? It basically worked in the context of the song. So what you're left with here is really interesting, simple but effective, punchy musical backing that had enough self-awareness and knowledge to change itself up, flip up its style as it went along. Nice vocal delivery that actually was satisfying rap. It wasn't the sort of thing where you kind of go, well, it's rapping a pop song, so I'll give it some leeway. It actually felt like it was quite satisfyingly well delivered, and a hook that is maybe catchy in a slightly more irritating way than anything else, but it serves its function, works well enough in the context of the song. And the video, like I said, the video was very simple, but the video kind of worked. It did go to some very dark places in there, but then again, the song is called Hate, so I guess what do you expect? Just generally okay. Well, no more than okay. Generally actually very good. I'm actually quite looking forward to listening to that again. I'm probably going to, I've got some more of their songs that I'm going to be listening to in the near future that I've been suggested already, so I've lined them up for future reviews. But as always, get in the comments and tell me if there's any that you want me to. Actually, if you're going to give song suggestions, do it in the Reddit, which is linked in the description below. That's the place where I'll definitely see them when I won't miss them. But I am interested to see what they do next, because this was like a good intro, so I'm interested to see what they can do as contrast to this. And also, if you are a fan of the band, tell me, what do the two members do? Because the one member, she seems to do nothing except for just like sing a couple of lines. I don't even know if she was miming the other members' words for that section. Sometimes you get these groups where one's the vocalist and one's the person who puts together the instrumental arrangement. So let me know if you know. If you're a fan of the band or not, if you like the song or not, get in the comments to what you think, because there's always this sort of discussion. Looking forward to seeing what you guys think there. As I say, if you want to give us more song suggestions, go to the Reddit link in the description below. And I will get around to everything eventually on there. Certainly, unless it gets copyright blocked, it will get listened to. And yeah, as a general, thank you so much for being here. If you really want to support us, then remember we have got a Patreon in the description below as well. You can follow that link. And because this channel's not monetized for many reasons, including copyright. So anything that you guys can give helps us keep the studio looking nice, keeps the lights on, keeps us with a good microphone, a good camera. Anyway, for now from Japan, thank you so much for tuning in. Until I see you soon, next time. For now, ciao ciao. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out more of our hundreds of videos we got online on this channel right now, or get involved in the discussion with us at the many social media links we've got in the description below, where you can suggest new videos and artists for us to check out on the channel. Or you can just do the usual YouTube stuff and comment, like, subscribe. You know how this works by now.